Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ricamus Reacts to RWBY. This is the second episode the second chapter of Volume 4. And so my first chapter should be up by now. I ran into a copyright issue, but it looks like it's been resolved. So thank you to Rooster Teeth for helping me out with that. Just to briefly talk about... I'm going to try and talk a bit more during these episodes. Maybe not too much, but just enough to sort of make it seem like I have... basically, so I run into less copyright issues. Anyway, let's get started with the intro. Is that loud enough? Yeah, the more and more I see the intro, the more I like it. I'm really liking the whole journey aspect of it. So I'm wondering if that kid that's behind Klein there is related to Weiss as well. Maybe like a brother that we never heard of, because why not? And I'm wondering if we're going to see the other characters at the end, if we're going to see Blake next at the end, the next episode will be about Blake, or if they're going to check in more with everybody else, and last episode was just sort of the check-in with the two major groups. I don't know, we'll see. But this is Tyrion fighting RWBY. Adam. I'm still wondering if that's actually going to be an event that actually happens, or if that's also something where it's inside Blake's head, her fighting Adam. Plus John's new armor. Am I talking too much? I got spoiled a little bit. I saw some screenshots of the mansion here. Oh, look at those more Ice Knights. I get G2. Really, the animations is beautiful.
Good afternoon, sister. A pleasure to see you out of your room for
I was right, brother.
Hello, Whitley.
Whitley?
You're in a cheery mood today.
Or Wheatley?
Klein made crepes for breakfast.
Always not the cake butler?
What do you want?
I heard Father shouting with someone in his study earlier.
Mother?
No, she's already drinking the Guardian.
Oh, apparently she has a mother. That's good.
I just wanted to warn you. I heard he had asked to speak with you.
I have a feeling there's going to be an arranged marriage.
I'll be fine.
I know you will. You're strong, like Winter.
You never liked Winter.
True, but you can't deny her resolve.
You seem different.
And you've been gone. I'll have you know I didn't stop growing while you were away at Beacon.
Is he getting the family business?
Good luck with Father.
I was thinking that she might, if you've seen Fairy Tale.
Thank you.
Oh, Family Portrait? If you've seen Fairy Tale, for some reason I keep on flashing to Lucy Hartfilia. Her mother does not look happy in that. What? See, that was something I've been thinking about, but I'll talk about that after.
We're not lost.
Guess they found the map.
My family used to visit it all the time.
Oh yeah. Don't you have like 4 sisters?
7.
You know, that actually explains a lot.
Wait, what do you mean?
So, what did you guys do there?
Oh, all sorts of stuff.
So is he from Mistral?
Over here is a great hiking trail, and over here is where we went camping all the time. I got my own tent because I was special. Also, so my sisters would stop reading
Like Sokka?
Ponytail.
I stand by what I said.
Storms a brewing?
What?
Oh shit. Saw that coming.
There could be survivors.
Over here.
Huntsman.
What happened? Who killed all of these people?
Bandits. The whole tribe.
Actual bandits?
With all the panic.
Grim.
Seen some blood. They haven't really shown. Oh, I guess they've shown blood before. Yeah.
Alright, we can get into the next village and try to find a doctor there.
Yeah, Red and I can take turns carrying him.
I don't know if he'll make it.
He will. He has to.
If we get going now, his chances will be better. I can run ahead and look for help.
Guys.
Should we bury him?
We should go. It's not safe here.
Ren? It'll be okay.
I'm just tired of losing everything.
Oh, what is that? Think it's linked to their past?
I'm not talking about the good of my company. I'm talking about the good of Atlas, our entire kingdom.
That is a load of garbage and you know it.
I beg your pardon.
Shock. Will you please just hear me out?
Shock.
You are a trusted friend and ally to this family, James.
Oof.
But what you're suggesting is absurd.
You are blowing it out of proportion.
I didn't think
Council will
Ironwood.
never agree to it.
You forget. I hold 2 seats on the council.
Your dust embargo has already cost me millions. I can promise you I have not forgotten.
So this is about you. Mishni, my apologies. I should have been gone by now.
It's okay.
We'll continue this at another time.
Oh, the metal on his head looks shinier. Looks less like a band-aid.
Show you out. Don't worry, I know the way.
I didn't think it looked like him in the intro, but I guess it is.
Until next time, John. Please know you'll always have a home in Atlas Academy, Mishni. We'll be back in session before you know it.
Did you forget your manners while you were away?
No, Father. I'm sorry.
Can you believe there are still people in the world that blame Atlas for what happened to Beacon? To Vale?
Well, they weren't there.
To wonder Ironwood wasn't stripped of his rank. I suppose the council trusts him, for better or worse.
I trust him.
Thanks to him, Atlas is forbidden from exporting dust to other kingdoms. A precautionary measure, as he puts it. Until we're certain no one is going
So
to
how did
declare
Ranger get
war.
dust?
How
from
anyone
Schnee?
could possibly find that to be sound logic is beyond me. Which is why the Schnee Dust Company will be holding a charity concert in the coming weeks. We need to show the people of Remnant that we are on their side. That we are all victims of the fall of Beacon.
That's wonderful news.
I know. And I think it would make a lot of people happy if you performed at the event.
Excuse me?
Many forget that you were there. My own daughter, a Schnee, on the grounds defending another kingdom. We need to remind them. And we need to show them
With a
that
song.
the Schnee family is just as strong as ever.
I like to sing or telling me?
I think it would make a lot of people happy.
I'll start practicing.
That's my girl.
Hot coffee, Miss Sneed? I always find he keeps his study dreadfully cold.
Thank you, Klein.
You know what I think?
I think it's to balance out all his hot air.
Klein?
Oh, there's my happy little snowflake.
Thank you, Klein.
It's interesting seeing her smile. I was thinking about the prayer that Pura said when she first unlocked Jean's aura. For it is in passing that we achieve immortality. Something to something something. Unbound by death. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Reminding me of Makalania. Just a little bit. A little less glowy. Oh.
All right, Sean. Just like we practiced. Follow these instructions. Shield up. Keep your grip tight. Don't forget to keep your front foot forward. Ready? Go. Again.
Oh, cool.
And again.
Is that part of his semblance?
Okay. Now, assuming you aren't cheating, we can take a break. I know this can be frustrating. And it can feel like so much effort to program such a small amount. But I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I've never met someone so determined to better themselves. You've grown so much since we started training. And I know this is just the beginning. Jean, I want you to know that I'm just happy to be a part of your life. I'll always be here for you, Sean. All right, Sean. Just like we practiced. Follow these instructions. Shield up. Keep your grip tight. Don't forget to keep your front foot forward. Ready? Go. Again. And again.
Oh, there's okay. So they're doing character art again, or yeah. Music just sounds fantastic too. As usual. So, I was an incredibly emotional episode. It got very dark in there for Ranger, and I wasn't sure if we were actually ever gonna see Pura again in any form, and she was just gonna be there in like the spirit of the show, but that was that hurt. That was very sweet, and yeah. I feel like there was something that I was going to say. I might have to come back and record a little bit more. Might need to. I think might need to recover and watch this again to get more of my thoughts out. I guess let's talk a little bit about Weiss. So I was thinking about. I mentioned before the whole Lucy Hartfilia thing. So basically in Fairy Tale, she goes back to her father, and he thinks that she's there to sort of become the heiress of the company and to marry another baron or something along those lines. But she's there just to say goodbye, that whole thing. I didn't think Weiss was just going to be there and then leave. It looks like, and it does look like she's going to be, at least for now, very obedient towards her father. And I think that she'll be secretly training on the side. I don't know how far it's going to get before she starts rebelling against her father. I wasn't sure whether or not that was actually Ironwood in the intro. It looks like it was. And her brother looks to be like a little shit, but we'll see what that relationship ends up being like. He could just be a little arrogant. I don't know. Anyway, I mentioned the whole thing with Pura's prayer. So the whole I feel like not a lot of people talk about what she says, and it could just be and I don't know, some kind of general prayer, but I should look up what it actually was. But when she unlocks John's semblance, there's that whole for it is in passing we achieve immortality, unbound by death, all that kind of stuff. And so I was wondering if this may be getting a little bit into like a Star Wars type thing, but if you train to a certain point with aura, maybe can you sort of transcend the physical world after death, sort of become part of the overall ether, and potentially communicate with people. It does seem like something's going on with Ruby, and I don't know if it was just because Ruby was there when she died. Maybe Ruby might be internalizing a whole lot. I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this. I have a lot of thoughts coming in my head, and I don't really know how to put it all together. Anyway, that was a really fantastic episode. I wish it was longer. Okay, so the camera might have moved a little bit, and there might be a dog in the shot now. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the end of the. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Volume 4, Chapter 2 of RWBY. So, oh, cute boy. Well, you know what? I got to take a few minutes to formulate my thoughts still. So this will end up being cut out. So basically, what I'm thinking. I think I started to mention something about Ruby internalizing a lot of her pain, and a lot of empathically picking up on a lot of her partner's pain too. And either it's hard to tell what's going on with the Pura thoughts, whether or not that's her just having some form of PTSD, or if it is actually her, if it's some form of PTSD, or if it has something. My wife mentioned something about the edges around that were silver. So I'm wondering if it's tying into her silver eyes. Maybe there's something more magical about that. So talking a little bit more, we're seeing a lot more from Ren and Nora, which is really great. We haven't gotten to see much from Ren and Nora. And we've gotten little hints here and there about their background. We know that they're orphans, that they grew up together, but we don't know anything more about their story. So I'm wondering if this has to do with how their parents died. They saw that symbol on the ground. We don't know if that was a symbol. Maybe that was a footprint, like a hoof footprint, or if that was the symbol of the bandits. And those bandits, I mean, it was significant to them. Maybe they were the bandits, or that was the type of Grimm that killed their parents or terrorized their town, and they clung to each other afterwards. I don't know. So we'll have to see what that leads to. But it was clear that Ren was very affected by the death of that huntsman. So that might have something to do with his past, or maybe, I mean, obviously it has something to do with his past. But maybe it has to do with a little bit more of maybe how he feels about the death of Pyrrha, or but it probably has to do more with his and Nora's parents. Maybe it affected him more because he witnessed his parents' death, that whole thing. Let me think, what else was... my wife pointed out, I don't know if I saw this, and I don't know if this is actually the case, but getting on to Weiss, when she was talking with Klein, it appeared that Klein's eyes seemed to change color. I don't know if that's actually the case. And I mean, that could just be we didn't notice his eyes before, or maybe his eyes do change color. But it's also possible that maybe Neo infiltrated or something like that. That's a long shot. We don't know the extent of her power, of her semblance. We don't know if she can shapeshift as well as just change her appearance to some degree. So we don't know if she can also change like her size as well as just the outer appearance. Because for the most part, what we've seen of her has just been she's changed maybe the way her face looks and the color of her hair and her eyes and that kind of stuff. So the whole thing with Weiss and her father was interesting. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know where it's necessarily going. It looks like Weiss might just be very submissive, very, very obedient for the time being, and train in secret. It's interesting. He definitely... His voice looks like it fits him. It's very high-pitched and kind of annoying. And he's a bit of an ass, so that at least helps show why Weiss and him don't get along. It looks like he just uses his daughter to further his own purposes for the business and all that. I'm curious if she is still the heir. I don't know how he'll feel about her going to Atlas Academy. It does seem like Ironwood would be happy to have her at Atlas, but I don't know if Weiss is interested. If Weiss's father, which I forgot his name. Do you remember what his name was? Weiss's father?
Whitley. That was the brother.
No, the brother was Whitley. It was Whitley or Wheatley. And if it's Wheatley, it's kind of hilarious because I'm thinking about Portal 2. But Whitley, yeah. Anyway, I can't remember the name of Weiss's father, but it was very interesting. He doesn't get along with Ironwood as well as I thought he would, although that might have to do with the aftermath of what happened at Beacon. Ironwood looks very stressed too. It's interesting seeing him with the beard and everything. I did find it interesting seeing I liked his updated design. The reason why I didn't think that was him in the intro was because I couldn't see the gray hair at first, and the beard threw me off. But and so I was initially thinking, oh, maybe he's related to Ironwood, or maybe he is he's just another character that was going along with the whole arranged marriage type thing that I was thinking, which could still happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe if it is going to happen, she doesn't know about it yet or whatever. But that was just something that I was thinking could possibly be a storyline. One thing I like, getting back on Ren and Nora, I feel like I'm jumping around a lot, and I don't know if I'm going to cut these in between or if I'm just going to keep talking, but I feel I like seeing more from Ren in general, but we're getting a very serious side to Nora. We really don't get to see Nora be very serious very often. Usually when she's being serious, like the only other time we really saw her being like serious was when she was talking to Pyrrha about sharing her feelings with Jean. Yeah. But I guess since I'm bringing up Pyrrha, now that I've at least had a few minutes to process it, that was just such a touching and emotional scene, and it really, really hit me and my wife in the feels. I part of me wishes he was doing the videos with me, because like together we really get emotional. Not well. Anyway, we've been double the feels. I even though I've had time to process this, I still don't know what to say about the Pyrrha scene. It was just so touching, and it hurt, and it made me feel good and bad at the same time, and I liked it. I'm wondering if that's the only recording he has of her, or if there are more. I wonder when that when she recorded that too, and like why did she? Was it just to help him when he was like not with her or something? I don't know. I'm rambling now. I thought it was. I'm wondering. So part of me wonders if they. I was gonna start to say that maybe they had really started to explore the idea of having a relationship, but they hadn't gotten there yet. And I don't think that they were dating or anything. And obviously, their first kiss, that was that moment, or at least we assumed was that first and last kiss in beginning of the end. Or was it end of the beginning? Shoot. Was it end of the beginning or beginning of the end? It was end of the beginning. I've rambled a lot. I don't know if I'll put that last part in. But basically, this was another fantastic episode. I didn't really have... there was one other thing I wanted to mention. So I did sort of briefly mention this during the episode where I said it looks like Macalania. So that forest where they were sleeping in, and Ruby wakes up and finds Jean. All of those floating lights. It reminds me a lot of Macalania Woods in Final Fantasy X. And... it was a very spiritual place. There was a lot of glowing lights. There all of the sort of the spirits were sort of floating around. What are those called?
Pyreflies. The
pyreflies were floating around, and so that all those the sparkling lights and stuff like that. It also kind of made me think of like the Will of the Wisps and that kind of thing, but a little bit more Macalania, which. Anyway, and that was also, it reminded me of that because in the darkness, Titus goes to find Yuna in the woods, and they have a whole conversation. Is that also where they have sex in Macalania when he finds her in the water?
What?
In Final Fantasy X, where they have sex?
They're in the lake that has the sphere recorder juice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was whatever. That was an aside on that. Anyway, Final Fantasy X is a fun game. You should play it. Okay, I've kind of lost my train of thought. If I don't cut this in between, please comment, and subscribe. Let's continue the conversation a little bit. Thank you for watching another episode of Ricamus Reacts to RWBY. Hopefully this doesn't get blocked by copyright again. It looks like I said, it looks like my video for the first episode is up now. Hopefully I don't run any issues. Rooster Teeth, if you happen to see this, thank you so much for everything you're doing. And keep up the great work. And I hope, I hope I can continue to react and all that. Excuse me. And I hope my my now 5 subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope you are liking my content. I know that you've kind of subscribed at different times, so I don't know what videos brought you along, but if you've watched this far, thank you so much. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.